Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know how to check this. Oh, I guess it says, because it says live. It's like, maybe we should check on our phones if we're live. I don't know. But yeah, so nobody's here yet.
Nobody's
So
here
we
yet.
can talk to ourselves.
Can you see when people are here?
Yeah, there's a little counter at the top.
Okay,
So
I think I maybe don't have that.
Okay. That makes sense since I'm doing it through our. How did you sign in through our channel? Oh, now there's 7 people here. Wow.
Oh, hello.
Hi. We were just chatting. But for the 7 people who are here, please say hi to us in the comments, because otherwise we won't know what y'all are doing.
Also,
yeah.
You will hear my dogs.
You will hear dogs. You will also see a cat on my side just keep back and forth because he just apparently really wants to hang out with us. So Time Tauros.
Hi.
Hi, Time Tauros. Welcome to our very first MCU Explained Live. It's a PJ party.
It is. Here's our matching pajamas.
We're kidding. We have matching PJs. We actually have more than one pair of matching PJs.
Yes. That is true.
That is true because of that mistake that happened, and now we both have Baby Yoda PJs.
Mm-hmm.
And I set up your heating pad for you, and now you're not sitting on the heating pad. You're sitting over here. Cool. Sweet. Well, we are here to kind of answer your questions if you have them. We're really, really excited about the WandaVision finale tonight. So if you guys are excited too. We also saved some questions that, because we love when you guys ask us questions that are just like also generic Marvel questions and don't see what I mean? The cattail, and aren't just about this particular show we're talking about. So if you, oh, Tom's here. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
But if you guys want to just ask us random questions about just our fandoms, our geekdoms, we are here for that. So that's super exciting for all of you, right? That's why you're here.
Yeah. To hear about our cool thoughts.
Yeah, we have so many cool thoughts. It was a mistake on the part to address the PJ thing. It was a mistake on the part of like Box Lunch or something. They just sent you too many.
Yeah.
Kohl's sent you too many PJs. She ordered 1 pair and got like 6 pairs.
Yeah.
So then I got a pair of free PJs, and that was cool for me.
They're very soft. So are these.
They're very soft. These are very soft. These are very warm too. Over under on White Vision waking up the Ultron program. We talked about that.
We did. Over under is like odds.
Yeah.
I think if he makes it out of WandaVision like alive and together, I think the odds of him waking up the Ultron program go way up.
Way up. I love the Ravens. Does Noah not like the Ravens? I'm sorry, Noah.
Oh, hi, Caesar.
And Brian, and again, Tom. So again, Tom's question, the over-under, I think that if he survives the finale, the odds go way up in terms of him waking up the Ultron program. I just, because Tab's favorite team is the Lions. Yeah, I
like the Lions because they're the saddest.
And they are both bad. The Ravens aren't bad. I mean, Is this a football stream? I mean, Tom, who's in the chat, likes the New York Giants. So.
Oh, my dad likes the New York Giants, Tom.
Yeah. So we wanted to, the Lions are very sad. The Ravens weren't sad 2 seasons ago. They were not that great this season. But yeah.
The Lions are always sad.
The Lions are always pretty sad. So yeah.
Yeah, but back to Ultron. I think it's unlikely tonight. Not impossible, but unlikely.
It might be a really cool post-credits scene.
Yeah.
You know, since now they're doing the mid-credits scene here, it might be really cool just to see that. But yeah, I don't know that we'll see it tonight. Mm-hmm.
It would be cool. There were, but it was just like internet rumors where they're like, "Oh, James Spader's in it," and it's just like, well, is he though?
Is he that? I mean, is he?
Is he though?
It'd be cool. I mean, I'm all for James Spader as Ultron coming back in a different sort of way, and I just love the idea of like James Spader's voice, Paul Bettany's body. Like that doesn't match up. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the Big Boss 45. I don't think they'll go back to Ultron either. It's just that in the comics he's never gone.
Yeah, and I don't think he'll be like a big bad ever again, but I do like the idea of them awakening the program again, because in Age of Ultron they just got rid of him too quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always there doing stuff.
Yeah. So I kind of would want him. I want him back somehow. But yeah, love y'all's pajamas. Thank you, Don Giovanni.
I like. Let's see what's my favorite. I think how Wolverine is on them.
Oh wait, I don't have Wolverine on.
Yeah, you do. It's right there. You have Hulk right there. I think they'll probably have different sections of fabric.
Also, even though we wear the same size, our bodies are drastically different.
That's true.
So that's always like a funny thing. Yay, women's clothing sizes, because we wear the same size, but I'm 5'9" and
I am 5'3".
Yep. Okay, why did Agatha let Wanda out of the basement? Agatha's just using the kids to test/train Wanda, yeah? I mean, yeah.
I think she's kind of scared once she realized who she was.
Scared. But also I like her coming out of the basement means that Wanda can use her magic, because there's no runes that are suppressing her magic anymore. So I would think that she does want to see, she might be scared, but she's also curious as to what Wanda can do. And if in her world, the Scarlet Witch was always just a legend. Oh, by the way, we should say that we're going to spoil the first 8 episodes. So if you haven't watched,
I hope that you watched the first 8.
We're going to spoil them, just so you guys know. So yeah. I like that this is the second Ravens comment we've gotten. Like, thank you, Casey. Go Ravens. But this is hilarious. I just put it back there because it's a really soft pillow. So if I want to lean back, it's there. Anyway, so I think she is curious about what the chaos magic can do, because like, you know, it's one of those situations where if you've always heard a legend and then all of a sudden that legend is in front of you, don't you kind of want to see if the legend's true?
Oh, yeah.
It's curiosity.
She also might think she could juice up on her like she did all of the witches in her coven.
Possibly juice up on her. But I mean, we know from the comics that Agatha Harkness is like a mentor/ally to Wanda when it suits her. So curiosity, mentorship, possibly, yeah. With all the new shows and potential new shows, it would be a great idea to add an avenue for Ultron to come back. Just one more big. That's true. Yeah. And it'd be nice to just like, because if Ultron's always around.
Yeah, he's just in computers and the internet.
He's in the cloud.
Yeah, getting up to stuff.
Okay, I'm being honest. I'm here for the Doctor Strange theory. Which one?
That he shows up, I'm assuming.
That he shows up? Because he has to. He has to. We're going to see him tonight, yes?
I think so.
We're going to see him tonight. Like, who else? If we don't see him tonight, I don't know. I don't have like an empty threat to make.
It's he again. I still maintain he may not show up till an end credit scene, but I assume that he is going to be there at some point tonight.
I agree with that. Like, we've talked about it throughout the show. I really don't think that like anybody else that we currently know of in the MCU could stop this from that, like could, you know, take down the Hex besides him. So I don't see how he doesn't show up. He has to show up.
And since Wanda doesn't really know how her powers work, like even though she may want to take down the Hex, she might not know how to.
Because like she made the Hex from like a pure burst of emotion. We saw that, like just her grief exploding from her in that powerful moment. How do you reverse that without like help from someone else?
Noah, how tired is Doctor Strange? He's so tired.
He's so tired.
He's so tired.
I love so much when Stephen Strange gets annoyed. Like I love it in my heart. So I just want him to show up and just be like, like, what is this? What just happened? Why?
He was probably dealing with something else and was like, wait, what's all this magic that I feel going crazy?
Yeah, because that's also what happens in House of M, where he just shows up and he was like, look, I felt this magic. Nobody thought to call me?
You could have called me. You could have called me.
You could have called me at any time while this was going down, and somehow you didn't? What's up with that? Yeah, maybe Ultron can make an appearance in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That actually would make some sense.
One of the things that I've heard about Falcon and the Winter Soldier is that each episode there'll be like an overarching bad guy story, but that they'll fight smaller bad guys in each episode. So if that's the case, then Ultron, if he's not in a body, they could probably just handle him in a computer.
They could handle him in a computer. I mean, Captain America's storylines have historically handled things inside computers before. Oh my gosh, this cat, man. He just like really wants my attention because I have attention elsewhere. So that means he just needs my attention. Yeah, that would be great. Also, I watched Civil War the other night, and now I'm so hyped on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, just based on the stuff like, you could have done that the whole time. I hate you. like their interactions, even in that movie, like, hey, can you move your seat up? No. Like,
Bucky and Sam also have my favorite reactions to Spider-Man, which is Spidey catches Bucky's arm and just holds it to look at it. Like he's not like he's equally strong, and the face that Bucky makes where he's just like horrified and confused about how this tiny little thing is restraining him.
Yeah.
And then when he hits Sam with the web, and Sam's like, is that coming out of you?
That would be amazing. I feel like Wanda has to be the one to bring down. I agree. Because if the theme of this show is her trauma and her grief, which it is, we watched her walk through it this last episode. I feel like the only person who can really help you with your or help you get through that last bit of grief is you, like, because everybody deals with grief in their own way. And as someone who has lost a parent and lost people very close to me, I can honestly say that, like, people will try to help and people can help, and there is an element of help there, but ultimately it's how you process your grief yourself.
Yeah. I think it's when I say he might have to help her, maybe it's more of a like talking her through using the magic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, more or maybe Agatha will, but more of like sort of a mentor. You have to like do this and accept these things, and then she's able to do it.
For lack of a better example, it's like the end of Frozen. Like the only way to melt a frozen heart, like, is love, only an act of love. And then Elsa and Anna have to use their acts of love. So That's the example that comes to mind. Like they both had to do it themselves the same way I think Wanda has to do it herself. WandaVision season 2 featuring Doctor Strange. Yeah, sure. I would be down
with the show even.
Yeah. I mean, wait, this is like mirrored in so when I go one way, I have to pay attention to which way shows off like my Doctor Strange toys that are behind me, because I couldn't not have Doctor Strange toys behind me. Do you think the world knows this is happening? That's a great question. Time Tauros.
I doubt it.
I don't think so.
I doubt it. Yeah. The towns in the immediate vicinity forgot that Westview even existed. And the people that knew people in the town forgot that they existed.
So question for you, Tab. Do you think that's Agatha or Wanda?
Oh, that's interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Chat. Do y'all think it's Agatha, or do you think it's Wanda who caused the forgetting outside the hex?
That might be Agatha.
Yeah, I think so.
If she was like, I gotta go in here and figure out what's going on, and I need some time. Gotta buy me some time.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Susan, hi. Do we think it's possible for a Professor X cameo? I mean,
it's possible.
It's possible.
It's just who Paul Bettany was talking about.
Tab sent me the video today where Paul Bettany admitted that he was talking about himself in the cameo.
He did an interview this morning where he was like, you think something's gonna be really funny, and then you do it, and everyone goes crazy.
Yeah. It was on Good Morning America. Yeah, because it was Michael Strahan who was with him. Yeah, so beyond that, it was so funny. And then he trolled the troll. Like when he admitted to the troll, he pretended his video was going.
Yeah. He's just the king of trolls.
He's the king of trolls, and he's my new favorite person. So true love breaks the hex, confirmed.
Yes. True love.
Yes. That's exactly what I said.
That's True Love from Frozen. It's like True Love in Buffy season 6.
Season 6. Oh, with Willow.
With Willow.
True Love. It is. And I was also thinking in season 5 with the sacrifice with Gloria.
Yeah.
That was also love.
True love.
Yeah, love of the sister, then love of the friend. Yeah, so this is the theme for all these shows. All nerd shows are just like true love is what solves all magic. Yeah. It was a good idea to make this show. It shows how good of a character Wanda is. She kind of got lost in the shuffle of the movies.
Yeah.
Agreed.
She did. I also like how it gave her time to grow, because we really saw her, like, she's had this incredible arc now of everything she's been through, and she's not even done. Like, doing Tony's whole arc took 10 years. So I'm hoping that we keep going with Wanda's arc.
Yeah, I love the idea of this next phase where the arcs are going to be characters like Steven and Wanda and like even bringing back Loki for a little while, who, while fun and did get a very nice arc, like it wasn't his own. So
he's about to have his own. Yeah.
So he's about to have his own, even though this is a different Loki than had the arc before, right? Because it's the one that went back with the Space Stone when they lost the Space Stone.
Yeah. Yeah. So now he gets to do it by himself.
Yeah. And Sam, like, I love the idea of Sam getting more time. Bucky, I love the idea. Bucky too, and I love the idea of, I mean, this is actually like the first thing Tab and I really ever bonded over. I want more Wasp. Where is my freaking Wasp storyline? I
love the Wasp.
Yeah.
I love the Wasp. I love Evangeline Lilly as the Wasp.
Me too.
More Wasp.
More Wasp. So much more Wasp. Okay. We're getting a lot of comments. I'm so happy. Thank you guys so much. We're only like 20 minutes in, and I'm like, thank you guys so much for coming with us on our first journey through live streams. Do you all have any wild theories for the finale? Things you know won't happen, but if it did, I mean, one of my wild things that I want is like partially the end of House of M, like not the no more, like, you know, the no more mutants thing, but obviously there's no mutants in this world. So a version of that. More mutants or something, like flipping the script the way the MCU does it so beautifully. Maybe she creates them this way. Mm-hmm. That would be fantastic. Doctor Strange showing up and like, that's likely though. That's not wild. Wild is I keep saying it as often as I can. Wild would be like, because he's a big part of House of M. If like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine walked in to help, that's wild. Yeah, or yes, that's wild. Hugh Jackman walking onto the set, or it's like Ant-Man just like comes out of the bush and is like, I've been in Westview the whole time. I'm telling you that he would have turned into an ant when he crossed the barrier. He would just be an ant. Oh no. Oh no. Deadpool showing up would be wild. Deadpool showing up would be rad. Yeah. Deadpool showing up would be so funny. That would be awesome. I love all these questions. Emmy nom for Lizzie. Yeah, sure. I mean, hard to superhero stuff doesn't get taken seriously in award shows. I'm sure you all know. Bothers me. That bothers me. It bothers me too. Because it's like these characters are so rich and so deep, and there's a reason why people like turn to these superheroes in dark times. It's because they help us process things. Tab and I actually have talked about doing an episode about mental health in the MCU because of how they deal, like how people who come back from war have PTSD and how Tony has it after his encounter in Avengers in Iron Man 3, and how well that's portrayed, how well grief and trauma is portrayed in WandaVision. And what was the other? Oh, Thor and his depression in his Endgame. It's just, from what we know about Moon Knight, they're going to dig into mental health there, which that is a character with a lot of mental health issues. Mm-hmm. So it's just, there's a reason why we turn to these characters. And the fact that award shows don't take them seriously is really upsetting to me, because like the portrayal of them is important to so many people, and it's just as important as any, you know, person playing a drug addicted, you know, musician for like the 15th time and getting an Emmy for it or an Oscar. There's a lot of people who got Oscars playing like addicts who were also musicians. Okay. There's so many comments. Thank you guys. Oh, we missed from Caesar. When Strange went through the millions of possibilities of how this would end, and that was all using the time zone and not multiverses related, right? Can people observe other multiverses without being in them? I don't even see that question. It didn't pop up for you? Yeah. Oh, no, there it is. There it is. Okay. There it is. Sorry, I skipped it. Sorry, Caesar. Yes, we know that they can observe other multiverses without being in them. There's people who can go multiverse hopping, and you can go through the Nexus into other multiverses. But I think my understanding with the time zone is that he would have been viewing possible universes, all the different actions that would lead to different universes, if that makes sense. Right. And something Tab and I talked about after we watched, I watched Infinity War the other night, was the possibility that, so Tab watched Doctor Strange the same night I watched Infinity War. And when he's playing with the time stone initially, when he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's playing with the apple and it's rotting and coming back, he obviously brings the apple back to stasis at the end of it. Whereas Thanos used the time stone to, after, you know, they destroyed Wanda and Vision destroyed the Mind Stone, he turned back the time stone and then took that Mind Stone, but he didn't go back to the stasis. So is there another, did he create a branch of the MCU right there and then by using the Time Stone to mess with time and not returning it back to stasis?
Probably. I mean, and Baron Mordo even tells them at the end of Doctor Strange, when Strange uses the Time Stone to run stuff back so they can have a do-over. And that doesn't get returned to stasis either. So there's many times when the Time Stone gets used to fix things that's maybe creating a branch reality.
Yeah. And so that could be another thing that gets brought up in Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness. The fact that Doctor Strange did that thing with Dormammu and
whoops.
Oops. David says, if Wanda were to bury Vision in an effort to bring closure, where do you think she would put the body?
Well, you're going to make Susan cry, David.
You are going to make me cry. I cry really easily. I would think Avengers Compound, personally, because like that's where they had their time together.
Yeah.
Maybe also the spot to grow old in Westview. And I'm seriously going to cry. I need to stop talking. Tab, take the question.
I think maybe once she found out, like she had the deed with her when she went to try and recover his body. So it's almost like she was planning on taking him there. So I think probably that plot of land would have ended up being where she buried him, Susan.
I'm trying really hard not to cry. We're like, I've watched Infinity War probably infinity amount of times. Like I've watched that movie and I still cry whenever she destroys the Mind Stone and then she has to watch him die. Like I can't handle that, like that so much. Like the Tony in Endgame, when Tony dies, I did cry the first few times, but now I can get through it without losing it. But I still can't do Wanda and Vision because they've always meant so much to me in comics, and they're my favorite Marvel couple. So I can't like with them. I can't. I'm emotionally involved with them, and it hurts.
I get it.
Big Boss 45. I don't think Agatha is really a bad guy. I think right now she's scared of Wanda's power and trying to prevent her from doing more damage. Yes, completely agree. Completely agree.
And curious.
And and I think curious about the legend of the Scarlet Witch as well. Siobhan, hi! Oh, yay! I love her. I can't wait for Loki and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Same.
I'm very stoked about how Loki appears to be taking famous mysteries from history and making it that it was Loki.
I love that too.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Is there is there a power the Scarlet Witch has that she has not yet displayed?
Yes. The Scarlet Witch has so many powers. There's no way she'll ever have all of them in the MCU.
I mean, some of them won't make sense in the MCU. Because you know how comic books are like their whole other medium. They're just comic books. Like there are things you can do in there you can't do anywhere else because you just comic books. Though I do like the way that the MCU has definitely been like, no, accept this. Mm-hmm. You know, like I never thought that Guardians would work as a movie. But somehow they were like, no, accept this. This is happening. So yeah. Do you want to go through some of them?
The more interesting ones that we haven't seen her use yet that would make sense within the context of the show is that she can open portals to other dimensions and just like go in there, and that she can raise the dead.
She can raise the dead. She can create life.
In House of M, she did something right before House of M that got Hawkeye killed. Mm-hmm. And then in House of M, when she makes everyone's like ideal world to live in, she brings Hawkeye back. Mm-hmm. And when things go back to normal, minus mutants, Hawkeye's still there, and he knows he died, and it super messed him up.
Yeah.
He's real messed up.
He's real messed up. Also kind of like when Buffy knows she died and they brought her back and she was super messed up too.
It's like a thing that messes you up.
I mean, I really imagine.
Also,
Currently biting me. Just so.
I know my friend Noah is watching and she hasn't watched all of Buffy yet, so I'm sorry about all the spoilers.
Have you at least gotten to season 5?
Yeah. No, she's watched the first season.
Oh no! Oh my gosh, we've spoiled so much for you.
Just forget about all of it.
Yeah, just forget. It's not a thing. The only character who has had as much trauma as Wanda is Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And we already saw his like incredible depiction of depression. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how relatable the scene where Bruce and Rocket come to get him and he's clearly not okay, but he acts like he is.
Yeah.
That's one of the most relatable things I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's so relatable. Yeah. So relatable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that I think one of the reasons why also the what is grief if not love persevering quote has moved so many people is because that scene is also so relatable. Mm-hmm. So relatable to like lose someone and then you just sit and you're zoned out with like a thing, and to have someone you care about share that thing with you and just sit there with you. So relatable. This is a good follow-up question. Speaking of mental health, I'd love to see Bucky dealing with guilt, both survivor's guilt and consequences of his actions, and Sam getting over the loss of Riley.
I think we will. We know from the trailers that at the very least, they're in some form of couples counseling, the two of them together.
Yeah. And Sam's background as a VA counselor would definitely help Bucky. That's true.
You would hope so, but weird.
I like that they both have this like weird, like possessive friendship thing with Cap, where it's almost like they're competing for his affection.
I feel like that's what it is.
Yeah, for sure. Hi, Shane.
Did you see Casey asked what stage of grief is Wanda in right now? Bargaining?
I mean, probably because she wants her kids back.
I mean, but I feel like we've almost seen her move through every phase of grief within the show, because the beginning was denial.
Oh, for sure.
And I think we're really close to acceptance, whether or not.
Yeah, I hope we get to acceptance by the end of the show. Like that's.
I actually think she's in anger right now, because when Monica tried to come and be like, I want to talk to you about Vision and Hayward, she didn't want to hear it. She was real mad.
Yeah, and also it should be said that you don't go through these stages in order. Like you can hop around. Yeah, so it'd be totally possible for her to be to have been in bargaining before she was in anger, and like the stages happen as they happen for each person. I'm gonna make you sit on me because you're being kind of a pain.
Say hello. Wait, David, I see that you say you probably shouldn't ask any more questions.
No,
go ahead and ask questions.
Ask all the questions. That's what we're here for. Yeah, David, ask so many more questions. I'd be okay with one-shot episodes spinning off from all those possibilities.
That'd be cool.
That is very cool.
A lot of people want a miniseries that is Steve returning the stones. And I'm very into that.
And that's what I said going into Endgame to my friend that I saw it with. I just went, it's like, if Steve doesn't get his dance by the end of this movie, like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. Steve needs to get his dance. Of course, because like there's been such a thing with Steve's arc is that dance with Peggy. So if we're not going to have Steve anymore, he needs to have a dance. That's just how it has to work. So does Doctor Strange still have the time stone? Yeah. No. Oh no. There is no. The stones have been destroyed. right?
Yeah, they've been destroyed, and then Steve returned all the stones to their original point in the timeline from where they were taken. So he does not currently have the time stone. I'm sure Susan can tell you all about how in the comics that's not something he uses anyway.
Yeah, that's not his, like, that's not even what's in the eye of Agamotto. Comics. So yeah. I'd like to think that Wanda, perhaps with Doctor Strange's help, would cast some sort of spell to help protect Viz's grave.
Oh yeah, that'd be sweet.
Why are you trying to make me cry, Dave?
Everyone named David is trying to make Susan cry.
Everybody named David is trying to make me cry. That's hilarious. And also, I'm pretty sure I know who at least one of these Daves is, and of course, he's doing it on purpose.
I know who the other one is, so we're good.
Okay. Oh, Michael Lampkin. Hey. Any idea if tonight? Yeah. Technically, it's tomorrow because it's at midnight. And Julie's here, so I could be like, get out of here with your technicalities. Just because you're right doesn't mean you're interesting. Because Julie's in here, she'll get what I'm saying. Oh, you do?
What?
Any idea if it's supposed to be 48 minutes?
48, yeah, it's close to 50. But remember, the initial runtime that they released does include the credits, so it's probably more like 40, 45.
Yeah. Because, they said 48, but they said with credits, I think. So, like 45. Which but still doesn't seem like very long.
The credits may also include extra scenes. So
True. Tom. Oh, I thought Tom left. I guess Tom's still here. Thoughts about possibly Kython. I'm Cthulhu. Kython showing up, since I hate saying these words because you're not supposed to be able to pronounce them. That's the whole point of Lovecraft. And like this thing is that they were the unpronounceable words. So you're not supposed to be able to say them because that also could call them to you. So really, I shouldn't say it at all.
Okay.
Showing up since he has serious fixation with chaos magic, and they made a point to say that name in the last episode.
So, we talked about him being a possibility.
We did. We talked about him being a possibility. I'd be down for that possibility.
I think he would be more like an in credits, oh, there's more to this than we realized kind of thing than actually being involved in the episode, but sort of like a Thanos teaser.
Yeah, I think we are going to get a Thanos type teaser, whether that's Mephisto or Nightmare, or I won't say his name, but
or like, even like Baron Mordo, because we know this goes into Doctor Strange, or like something that's going on in Spider-Man 3, because that they're calling like all of these the multiverse like story trilogy.
Yeah.
Although, is it a trilogy? Because I feel like Thor is also multiverse. Thor Love and Thunder. I
think Thor Love and Thunder is also going to be multiverse involved.
Yeah.
So, and then here's a weird question. And I think maybe my Dave in the chat might be able to answer this. Like, so the Black Widow movie that got pushed back 1,000 times because of COVID. Do we know if that's the same Natasha? Because she's like dead on our timeline. Do you know if it's the same one? That's just, I'm just wondering. Do you know and you're not saying? Or
no.
Oh, okay.
It's a good theory. Yeah, I mean, and Scarlett Johansson herself said that when you see Black Widow, it will change some things about Endgame for you. So it's possible. Although I think my guess for that was that all her Russian family gets dusted. And so like it's not just that she lost her Avengers family, she also lost her other family. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh no.
I'm not gonna cry over that. This whole stream is gonna be like me trying not to cry over things. Were you surprised there wasn't an all musical episode? No.
But now I
want one.
Yeah, because that was big. Like Buffy did that. Scrubs did that.
Didn't Malcolm in the Middle do that?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't know. I didn't really, I half watched Malcolm in the Middle. A lot of shows did that.
Yeah, a lot of shows did that, especially in that, like, I feel like that 90s, early 2000s sweet spot. I guess they were like, oh, nah.
Yeah. Virtual hug from Julie.
Hi, Julie.
With the very few exceptions of Loki, etc., Marvel tends to kill off their villains. What are the chances that tomorrow is the last we see of Agatha? We've said on the show before, Agatha's not really a villain.
She is actually more like Loki.
Yeah, she is more like Loki. And I think that she will escape much like Loki does. But yeah, she tends to do whatever suits her. Yeah. And she is in the comics a mentor to the Scarlet Witch. So I think it's very likely that by the end of this episode, they'll wind up on the same side.
Yeah, I think so too. I hope so.
I hope so too.
If any villain is going to die, I'm guessing it's Hayward, but I also don't want him to die
either, because
excellent.
I love the idea of that, like, anti-super team up that we talked about on the last episode. Like, I love the idea of like Baron Mordo and Zemo and lots of O's and Hayward, like all like kind of in their own way being anti-soup or anti-magic.
Yeah.
In these different parts of the MCU moving forward. And J. Jonah Jameson, you pointed out too, is back. So we have all these different anti-super people who are in these different parts of the MCU right now that feel like seeds being planted to a bigger story.
I thought it was so smart that they didn't bring him back till Tony was gone.
That is really smart.
Tony would have ripped him to pieces.
Yeah. Tony would have ripped him to pieces. Okay. Part of me feels like Wanda's grief can be resolved in this, and is why she ends up with Strange in the Multiverse of Madness to work through the end of it. Completely agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree. There's a cat playing with my light because my light is going like this. So I'm not sure what he's doing. But yeah. Good work, Smokey.
Oh, Casey wants a Steve and Peggy show. That's adorable.
That's adorable.
But it's like them living their normal lives. Like, he's not a superhero anymore.
Gosh, there's just so many comments. Oh my gosh. I love this. I would love to see Hayward get punched. Yeah, I would actually love to see, like, I think Darcy hit him.
Ooh, that's good. She hit the strong man that was rude to her.
Yeah, I would like to see Darcy hit him.
I would like to see Darcy hit him, and then right after that, Jimmy hits him, and then right after that, Monica hits him.
Yeah, but then like photon blasts him.
Yeah.
So it's like boom, boom, poof, and then Hola, Smokey. Yeah, Smokey, stop playing with the lights, please. So what do you think Wanda's emotion will be when she says previously on WandaVision? That's a tab question, since you noticed that way before I did.
All right, here's my guess. So call your gambling people. Here's my bet for tonight.
Tom, we're putting odds on this.
Sokovian accent.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's my guess. She's back to normal. It's normal.
Interesting.
She's herself now.
Yeah, she's back to being herself.
And the illusion for her is completely gone. They worked all the way through everything that made it happen.
Oh, Black Widow is post-Civil War, pre-Infinity War. Okay, thanks. I knew Dave would know, so I'm glad that has... So we need a new big magic bad to fixate on in the MCU. Yes, we do. Have you all heard about Doris being a third witch? Doris.
I think it's Dottie.
Dottie being a third witch. We talked about that potential and a couple of characters that maybe she could be, including Lore and Arcana.
What's interesting about her maybe being Arcana is that she also has the same last name as Arcana, Jones.
Oh.
And Arcana's husband's name is Phil.
Interesting.
So yeah, I think maybe Arcana. I think Arcana. who, if you guys didn't see in our last one, she's the Sorcerer Supreme for another dimension.
Do you think any of the townspeople will walk away from this with abilities? Maybe. I mean, that could be how mutants happen. The Hex.
That guy is maybe Swarm now. We never saw him again. The sword agent that went through the sewer, and when he went through the barrier became the beekeeper. We literally never saw him again. And he was surrounded by bees. So I feel like maybe he's Swarm who is made of bees.
Oh my gosh. Guys, there were so many questions. We're going to try so hard to get to all of them. We're like, just so you know, we're 5 minutes behind on questions. So like I'm looking at questions from like 5 minutes ago that we're answering now because you guys are asking such great questions that we're talking about them. Okay. Backtrack to Endgame for a second. Sorry, long question. It's cool, Michael Lampkin. Ask away. When Bruce is talking to the Ancient One and says Strange gave Thanos the Time Stone, says maybe he made a mistake, and she said, or I did. Were you like me and thinking for the split second that she was going to change her mind about making Steven a Sorcerer Supreme, therefore screwing up the timeline even more?
I did not think that.
I did not think that at all.
If Strange is meant to be the best of him, then he must have known what he was doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I did not think that
my whole thing was like, oh, she's upset that she doubted Steven.
Yep. I imagine Photon got her abilities because she left the Hex and returned. I think if the Hex comes down naturally, the townspeople will be fine. Or is this how we get mutants? That's actually a good point.
Yeah.
She was forced out and then forced her way back in. So that would be different than just magic coming up around you and then magic being around you.
If we're talking about how mutations work anyway, there could be someone in the town who is like has a higher probability of magical energy giving them powers. Just like there's people who, no matter what, won't get powers. Yeah, so maybe one or two people. Maybe that guy Swarm. Maybe when she said no, she just turned him into bees.
And now you're bees.
And now you're bees.
And now you're bees. Okay. So some of this we've already touched on. Susan and Tab commented on the Icana theory on their last show. We did. And we just did again. Do you think that Wanda's vision will merge with the White Vision as a way to get him to leave the Hex?
Boy.
No.
That's what you want. So
I mean, I want that.
I love that. I would love for Vision to walk away from this. It seems unlikely.
Vision's going to walk away from this. I think that when the Hex comes down, so does Vision.
Yeah. And maybe White Vision will stay, but like we said, he's not going to be
the same.
Yeah.
Now I'm just already pre-crying because I'm realizing that Wanda's going to have to say goodbye to him for a third time. It's like the third time she's going to have to like lose him. That's like so messed up.
It's so messed up. It's super messed up.
That's so messed up. So like, they're going to have to explain to her that she has to take down the Hex. And when she takes it down, he's going to go too. Again. Yeah. Oh my fuck. This is not okay. I'm not going to be okay watching this episode. We haven't even seen it yet. I'm a ridiculous person. Oh my God. I'm such a ridiculous person. Oh my God. So Suits Nelson just said that it's his first time watching us. So
hi. Welcome to Susan Cries About Possible Outcomes.
I need a shirt, right? Like a shirt that says like I cry over a fictional character.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Stephen Peggy doesn't sound like the most exciting show.
Yeah, it would just
I mean, it would the only way it would be exciting is but the thing is it couldn't happen this way because Steve went back to her, so he had to like not work at Shield.
Yeah.
And the only way for it to be exciting is for them to be on like Shield missions together.
Nope, they go to dinner and movies.
We just watch an episode of them watching a movie.
Steve teaches her how to use the internet when it first comes around.
You just watch. It's just like having a camera on them while they do their life. What if they just put Hayward in the Wanda TV land and he's stuck to live out his days in a constant sitcom?
That's hilarious.
That would be amazing torture. Amazing torture.
And then which sitcom would that be?
Oh my God, which sitcom would that be? I don't know. Friends. Live in Friends. Make him live in Friends.
Make him live in the old Batman TV show.
Make him live in the old Batman.
I hate that so much.
Oh my God. Now I see Eddie Izzard covered in bees. That's amazing. Strange is said to bring Nightcrawler in from another universe. Really?
I'm down for Nightcrawler. I love Nightcrawler
too. I lost my spot in the...
Okay, I know where we are.
Okay, a friend of mine asked who is stronger, Scarlet Witch or Captain Marvel?
Man, they're...
I mean, I think Scarlet Witch is.
It's Scarlet Witch. It's that thing where, like, if you're talking about they have to do a magic fight, of course it's Scarlet Witch. But if you're talking about they punch each other in the face, then it's Captain Marvel.
Well, is it though? Because she can also like blast magic at people.
Right, I just meant a straight punch.
Oh, a straight punch. Oh, okay. Well, a straight punch, Captain Marvel. Yeah. But like...
No, the Scarlet Witch is a Nexus being. Carol's not.
Yeah, the Scarlet Witch is more powerful in terms of like powers. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Sorry. I love Lizzie's Sokovian accent. Even as Tab said, Wanda worked on her accent with the greatest spy in history. I like her Sokovian accent too.
Yeah, me too. I like how they did a lot of work to develop it to make it a unique thing. Mm-hmm. Her and Aaron Taylor Johnson, and then without thinking that later they were going to have to teach other people how to do it because it ends up being the Sokovian accent.
Yeah. Yeah. Not sure which sitcom would be the worst, but definitely a bottle episode. What's a bottle episode?
A bottle episode is one where it's only the main cast and they don't use any, they usually only use one set. So like Charlie McDennis is a bottle episode.
Wait, which one?
Charlie McDennis from Sony.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I just watched Electric Boogaloo last night, which would not be because there's like one guest star.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, what a great C-lister to have been created by the show Swarm. Yeah, it would have been hilarious. Do you want mutants? Because that's how you get mutants.
No.
Maria Hill will probably take over. No, she won't.
Well, we know Ironheart's coming, so there's that.
No, he loves Maria Hill. That's Zach. He loves Maria Hill. That's his thing. He knows that I have like an anti-Maria Hill thing because he has like a super crush on her. So
on her the character or on Kobe Smulders?
I don't know. Is it all of Kobe Smulders or is it just Maria Hill? I just know that he has two Maria Hill figurines or the Hot Toys. He has two of them because that's how into Maria Hill he is. I mean, I have two Doctor Stranges, so
yeah.
I got that one already. I would love to see Nightcrawler too. Will Wanda have to choose between Vision or her kids? Her kids, probably, and I think her kids exist. Like they should too. They should exist when the hex comes down. We know that Vision can't leave the hex.
Yeah, and the kids probably can.
Yeah.
The consequences of them leaving the hex unclear. In the comics, when they get taken away, Agatha makes Wanda forget they ever existed to spare her the grief, which doesn't work out.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't work out.
It does not work out
at all. We already know that Monica had genetic predispositions to radiation, the stones, and all the stone users give Give off. So is this like the X gene? Will she give, and does she give off a blast when she's grieving?
She might. They all, how they all kind of find their powers and the control of their powers really varies from hero to hero.
True.
But high emotions seem to bring it out in most of them.
Yeah. I mean, Captain Marvel also did it to protect people as well.
Mm.
So it's not just grief, it's like a strong sense of protection and care for others, which you can kind of say that Wanda is reacting to that too. Like, it's the people made from the stone do have like emotional reactions to or their powers come out when they emotionally react to things.
Yeah.
Like,
and Thor, I feel like Thor had to accept himself to find his powers. There's lots of things that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of journeys that are like emotional and mental that the characters have gone through. It's kind of incredible. That's why they're so relatable, and it's why I think that we can see ourselves and identify with what even superheroes and superhumans and people made from Infinity Gems and like all of that.
Yeah, because at the end they're just people.
Yeah, their root is the same. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what's up with the rabbit eating that and then I can't see the other emoji?
I imagine this is a cicada emoji that I didn't know existed.
I sent you the cicada emoji at one point, didn't I?
Right, you did. Didn't you?
Yeah, because I found it and was like, why does this exist? This is the worst.
Well, the stream protected you from seeing it.
Yeah, thank you, because apparently Don Giovanni wanted me to freak out. I hate cicadas. They're the worst.
I mean, rabbits eat bugs.
Rabbits eat bugs. I mean, that's true.
Or she was giving her, as you said, maybe that's her son in rabbit disguise, and he eats bugs.
Nicholas Scratch just like
eating bugs.
If that's the case, watching Vision die again, Wanda should be able to have a more proper goodbye this time. Yeah, and that's gonna be heart-wrenching.
But closure is good. It's so good.
Closure is so good, and it's so helpful for grief. But it's heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
For us to have to watch it again. I'm selfish right now. True artist cries is an illustration of our humanity. Steve and Peggy. Whoa! I mean, probably. Welcome to Susan Cries, MCU Explained. Thank you, Julie. That is true. How many episodes have I cried in? I like, someone pointed out to me I cry like every other episode.
Yeah.
I just cry really easily about stuff like this. I cry more about fictional things than real life. Steve is playing it safe in a barbershop quartet while Peggy saves the world at S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, Steve's being a good boy.
Yeah. Man, Dave and Tom hating on my Steve and Peggy show. Yeah, well, that's what Dave and Tom do. They do that stuff, right, guys? Sure. Do you think that Hayward showed WandaVision's body in pieces and made that comment that she could bring Vision back, hoping to taunt her into doing something like that? Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he thought that if he let her go down there and everyone backed off, that she was going to do something and then Vision would come back.
Yep. I think so too.
I think that's what he was hoping for.
And I think that one of the reasons he doctored the footage and tried to make people pissed off at her is because he's just like a petty bitch.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't help me with my experiment, so now I'm gonna make her into a villain.
Yeah. Or maybe he thinks, like, since Vision is in the thing with her, maybe Hayward's like, that bitch could do this the whole time and she wouldn't just boot up the body we already had.
Right?
He or she.
Right? Oh my God. Who do you want to see as the big bad next? Kang, Mr. Sinister, Doctor Doom.
I like Doctor Doom.
I like Doctor Doom as well. I like Doctor Doom has like a history with Wanda also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would be very into that. Although, I mean, I guess he's not really a big bad, but I really want to see Nightmare.
I really want to see Nightmare also. Oh, look, you threw your mouse. Oh, he found his mouse toy and now he's playing with the mouse toy right here. Because why would he play with it anywhere else in the entire room? He needs to play with it right here.
Notice me.
Please don't knock over the entire computer setup I have right here. Okay. Do you think we'll end this by actually entering the multiverse, or do you think it'll end in the MCU we already know?
I think we're already in the multiverse. I think the stuff that set up the multiverse started happening a while ago. I mean, they were using those Infinity Stones like a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's more about like little things build up over time. And this could maybe be the catalyst for like, here's the biggest thing. It's all going to break now.
Yeah. And if this is actually the Fox Quicksilver and he got brought over into our universe, that shows that the barriers are thinning and have thinned because of Agatha was able to just pull him in like that. We're already looking at the multiverse being set up right there, like tears and things like that. That's a great question, though, Time Tauros. I keep liking that name, so that's cool. Adding on to Michelle, do you think he's working with anyone that seems cartoonishly evil? I don't remember what Michelle asked. Let me go.
Michelle asked about
Hayward. Yeah.
I don't
either. I just think he's corrupt.
Yeah, I think he is just a bad dude. If he's working with anyone, it would maybe be like, oh, he's with Hydra, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, or like a new branch of Hydra.
Yeah, but less like he reports back to Mephisto or something like that.
I don't think he's working with like a big bad who's like magic or supernatural. I think it'd be way more likely he'd be working with a bigger agency situation.
Yeah, he could be working like we've said we want him to team up with the other No Heroes. So like if it was something like, and here's Zemo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Zemo were talking about how this didn't work out. That would be very cool.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think though in this episode we're going to have any lead in to Falcon and the Winter Soldier just because that was technically supposed to air first. So I'd be really surprised if we had.
But Marvel shows us things out of order all the time.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
If there's an end credit scene with him and Zemo, I don't think that takes away from anything.
Oh no, not at all.
Order it shows it in. Yeah.
I don't think so at all. Oh my god. This cat. I know it isn't likely, but what if Wanda creates a little pocket for Vision to live out? Oh.
Aww. Vision in his little extra reality.
Like he just gets a little pocket hex.
Yeah.
Like he can just walk around in his little hex.
In here.
Apparently this is how he'd walk in his hex.
Well, it's small.
This is small little how long have you known each other? Almost 2 years?
Almost 2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
We met at a convention.
Mm-hmm. At a Harry Potter convention. So yeah, almost 2 years. And then we actually just started talking about Wasp randomly.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we started sending Marvel memes back and forth to each other. And that's how we became friends. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Whoa. Jimmy went to Westview looking for a person in witness protection. Do you think that matters at all? Will they bring it up again? I think we'll know by the end of this episode who that is.
Yeah, I think. Or they were never there to begin with.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk about this in the last episode, but uh, I still think it could maybe be the delivery man, and that's why they keep focusing on him.
Yeah.
But they did show that he was just like a pizza guy before. He was just like a miserable pizza guy. So I don't think he has evil.
Okay, maybe in witness protection.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah. But like a lot of people thought that we were focusing on him because maybe he's a bad guy or has like,
oh,
you know, they did kind of make him a red herring.
That's true. That is true. Hayward totally wanted Wanda to reanimate Viz. Yes, I completely agree. If the Infinity Stones in this universe are destroyed, the Red Skull doesn't have much of a job anymore. I think he'll eventually find his way back to Earth, or with no Steve around, is it kind of pointless to bring him back?
Yeah, did he just disappear maybe?
No, he's like, oh, guess I float away now?
Although unclear to me in the MCU is where the stone goes in between sacrifices to obtain it. That one you might actually, if you throw someone off that cliff again, you might actually be able to get it.
Yeah.
Unclear.
That's awful to think about, but yeah, it's true. Do you think we'll see Tony Stark back in the MCU, like another version of him from the multiverse? Possibly.
I think there is a high likelihood that we get some fun alternate universe versions of characters we already have seen played by different actors. So I think there's a very high probability that Tony will come from another universe, but he won't be played by Robert Downey Jr.
That would be amazing. And I completely agree. I think that in Multiverse of Madness, we are going to see a bunch of different versions of the characters that we know and love, but played by different people. I mean, we already know in the Spider-Man movie, there's going to be all the versions of Peter Parker.
Unofficially.
They're all on IMDb, though.
I know.
How is that unofficial?
I know, and there's been pictures of them maybe going to and from set. Listen.
Yeah, that's like not unofficial. I'm sorry, Marvel, but that's not unofficial. Like they're all like
it's unofficial till Marvel says like, oh, Andrew Garfield's in this.
I guess, but at the same time, like it's pretty obvious that he is.
Yeah, I know. We're going into Spider-Verse. It's very exciting.
Yes, it's very exciting. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see the same thing happen with like Cap and Tony and maybe Widow.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think it'd be hilarious too if Chris Evans and
Michael B. Jordan
also were the Human Torch, but then also you guys know what I'm saying. Like a bubble boy. Oh yeah, that's Vision. October will be 2 years.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
go. Sophie Turner's portrayal in Jean Grey, the Dark Phoenix, coming across the multiverse versus Wanda Scarlet Witch. What do you think?
That's rough. They are both Nexus beings.
They're both Nexus beings. They don't really have beef with each other.
They don't. Wasn't there one point where Wanda also hosted the Phoenix?
I think so.
Yeah.
That sounds correct. Yeah. I mean, I still go with Wanda because I like her better.
I know you like her better. I actually think, given the Phoenix's like huge powers, that she would just, blast everyone.
I know, but I have to officially say Wanda because I like her better. What is your favorite MCU movie? Mine is Civil War. That's a good question, Matt.
That is a great Civil War. Great. My favorite is Ragnarok.
And my favorite is Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Shocking no one.
When we said
Ragnarok, I know that Tab hasn't talked about it yet, but Tab is like a big Thor fan. So that also should shock no one. Just Thor isn't directly involved in this storyline. Therefore, she hasn't in every single episode brought up how maybe Thor will show up.
Because it's just unlikely that Thor shows up in this.
It's really unlikely considering he's with the Guardians right now.
Yeah, he's in space.
Somewhere. So,
Ragnarok, when we said earlier, like, these characters are great because they're just people, Ragnarok made Thor a person.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It made him like someone, not just a god, and not just like you know,
Yeah.
I really think that Ragnarok made I don't think the comic book version of Thor works in movies. I just don't. So Ragnarok made him my favorite. Love Banner in Ragnarok too. Like top 2 Banner performance.
I just also loved the idea of like, what are you, the god of hammers?
Yeah.
Like Thor put so much emphasis on like this one aspect of what he thought gave him power that he completely forgot what made him himself.
Yeah. The hammer gives the power to anyone.
Yeah.
But it says on the hammer that it's the powers of Thor. He's Thor.
Yeah. Yeah. And it took him 3 movies to figure that one out.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We all take a while to figure out stuff about ourselves. It's not unusual. It's just it's so good. And then for me, Doctor Strange, I love the idea of someone's life not being exactly the way they thought it was going to turn out, so they make themselves into a superhero. So yeah, Doctor Strange will always be my favorite because of that. Commander Rogers being some other old dude, but not as old as Steve we saw in Endgame.
Oh, for a multiverse.
Yeah, the multiverse.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there we go. I was like, I lost my place again. Fake Tony equals phony. Yeah, like fake Pietro equals Pietro. The show is designed for the viewer to build up bad assumptions via the rampant theory crafting, only for our false realities to come crashing down in the face of truth. I see what y'all did there. Yes. Ard from Mexico. Hi, Mexico. Waiting for WandaVision episode 9. Aren't we all? That is what this pajama party is. You know that Bruce Campbell has a cameo in Multiverse of Madness. Who do you think he could portray?
Who's the most fun version of a multiverse character? It's Ash Williams from The Evil Dead, from the Army of Darkness Marvel Comics crossover, where he helped fight the Marvel zombies. Ash Williams is Marvel canon. So
once again, Tab found the only way for me to accept the fact that Bruce Campbell's making a cameo in Multiverse of Madness. I was like, I don't want Bruce Campbell in my Doctor Strange movie. And she was like, what if he's Ash? And I was like, yes.
He'll show up, he'll help out.
Yeah. Hello from the UK. Whoa, hey.
Hi, hey.
Excellent. It's like the middle of the night there.
Yeah.
Why are you awake? Crazy. Alternate dimension, Tony Stark, Tony Stank. I love Scarlet Witch. She's my favorite superhero. Love that. The book in Agatha's basement that had a close-up. Do you think that's another red herring, or will it become important?
We think it could be a couple different books, The Darkhold, the Necronomicon, but it also looks like it's, whether it's one of those books or not, it looks like it's almost certainly the book that's missing from the Ancient Ones library. She had a book missing in Doctor Strange, and it looks the same as the other books, and it has the same kind of magic around it. So I think it'll be important, especially if Doctor Strange shows up and is like, what are you doing with my book?
I mean, it could be that Agatha can't even open it.
Yeah.
And like, she's like, oh, good, you're here. Now you can open my book.
Please open this book.
Please open this book for me. And he's like, no. Give me my book back. And then she like disappears with the book.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Thor poking at Doctor Strange's business card with his umbrella and whispering Loki.
That's right. The Ragnarok also has a great Doctor Strange and Thor scene.
He does. P.S. Dave, I'm gonna just point this out in that he's wearing yellow gloves in that cameo.
He is.
Yeah, Dave didn't know that Doctor Strange wore yellow gloves.
He also used to wear a creepy mask.
He also used to go incognito, but still wear the cloak of levitation.
I read an old Doctor Strange comic. Like,
and she was like, did you know about it? I was like, yes. And I like tried to Jedi mind trick her. Like, you didn't see that.
He doesn't just.
He used to be an idiot.
He wears the cloak over his like trench coat and street clothes. And he also still goes by the name Stephen Strange. He's still Dr. Stephen Strange. His name doesn't change, but he thinks he has a secret identity and wears a mask.
Yeah. I love like the old versions of the comics because like at one point Wasp was a fashion designer.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Why wouldn't she be? Why wouldn't she be a fashion designer?
Like when Wonder Woman was the secretary for the Justice League.
Yeah, because that's what you do. You're just this, you're like half goddess, demi-goddess, but you should be secretary, right? That's what happens.
Yeah. Write this down.
I recently just found the Team Thor videos on YouTube and they're so good.
Oh, hi, Joey. I know you.
I don't know you, but I want to know what these Team Thor videos are if you would like to elaborate.
Those are the videos that he made, that Chris Hemsworth and Taika made to show what Thor was doing and why he was.
Oh, I love those videos.
Yeah. They're incredible.
Videos. Old Cap could be a thing like a Luke in House of M.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Old Cap is great. I love Old Cap in the Spider-Woman and Captain Marvel runs where he like runs the Avengers from the base. And even though he's not super powered anymore, Jessica Drew is still really intimidated by him. Like she's very awkward every time she does interact.
I still would be.
Yeah.
I totally still would be. I like Jessica Drew because of how awkward she can be.
Yeah, Jessica Drew's great. If you've never read Spider-Woman or don't know anything about Jessica Drew, highly recommend. She's amazing.
But do it from like her newer stuff because some of her old stuff is like.
Yeah, her newer like not. Don't look at the 70s, 80s.
Yeah,
like
the 70s and 80s. You can just like with Jessica Drew. She has a real sketch like backstory in those ones.
Her backstory continues to be sketch. It's just not as elaborate.
Yeah, it's just not as really weird and yeah. Anyway.
Her dad experimented on her and it gave her spider powers. They're different than Spider-Man's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do when you have a kid. You just use
experiment.
Obviously. Just imagine Professor X showing up and putting blocks in Wanda's mind. I really don't want him to put blocks in her mind.
Yeah, she needs to work through this.
She needs to work through it. You can't just like box up trauma. It doesn't ever work. You have to work through it. And if this show's about her working through everything, to me, it would be completely counterproductive to just have Professor X show up and block this stuff out of her mind.
In House of M, he does try to help her, but he goes into her mind to try and to remind her that the stuff she's creating isn't real. It makes her go catatonic, I think.
Yeah, she like goes into a coma-ish, but she also rejects it ultimately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you from, girls?
I'm from Texas.
I'm from California.
And despite what you said about Texas in the news recently, it's not all like that.
California is absolutely like it's been in the news recently. I see that Daniel Leon, did you just find us? Because that's awesome if you just found us. I see you guys are MCU lovers, which is great. Yeah, we are. This is MCU Explained, and we usually just do deep dives into MCU. Well, we started with WandaVision. We're pretty new as a channel, to be honest. We just started with WandaVision, kind of going through our theories on the show and what we find in comic books to be inspirational to the material that they're putting out right now. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And it'd be more fun if my cat wasn't harassing me off camera. He's had a tough week. He's fine. Hagrid shows up and tells them to stroke the... Yes.
Multiverse. It's all here. Star Wars, Harry Potter, everyone.
I love that went around that's like, if the multiverse exists and one of them is Star Wars, I'm pissed that I'm not there.
One of my favorite things at Celebration was I saw like maybe only like 2 people were dressed as Star-Lord at Star Wars Celebration, which made sense to me.
I love. Did you see the people? This is in because we could have met earlier because we were both at Celebration in Chicago, and did you see the group of people dressed up in Trek uniforms playing Why Can't We Be Friends on like a boombox that they were walking around together?
I did not see them. That's
like,
incredible.
Be friends? And they were all in Starfleet uniforms. It was amazing.
That's great.
WandaVision is going to be amazing. I agree. Are people wanting spoilers here now? We are spoiling the first 8 episodes. So
yeah,
if you're talking about, spoilers for the finale, please don't spoil it for people.
But theories we're down for.
Because we're all playing guessing games right now. Do you think we'll get an Exiles team like in Multiverse of Madness? Exile. Ooh. Oh my God. Why haven't I thought of Exiles in years? I loved Exiles.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with Blink for a while.
Yeah.
And Blink was even in Days of Future Past. So there's a Fox Blink already.
The Multiverse of Madness, I think like literally anything is possible.
Yeah.
Like, this is they've opened the multiverse, and if they want to get in like 100 cameos, they're gonna do it.
That's true. I agree with that. I think that they're going to put everybody they possibly can in this.
I don't think anyone will have large parts or even lines necessarily. It's probably going to be fast, but they'll be there.
They'll be there too.
Ash better have
Dave, look, I just said I didn't know yellow gloves and blue suit combo you were wearing. Granted, pretty much everything I know about Strange I learned from Susan. Fair. I find deciphered to decipher a theory. Yes, please don't put anything that you know for sure in or anything like that in the chat, because we all want to experience it in our own way. And I think enough people in the chat said to not spoil it. So please don't.
No spoilies.
Scarlet Witch leading Secret Avengers. Or, it'd be great is like the start of the Children's Crusade too.
Damn.
Wiccan, she mentored the Children's Crusade for a little while too, and then Wiccan was the leader of the Children's Crusade.
Oh fuck, that's right.
Yeah.
Hell
Wiccan
yeah.
is Billy. We're an exciting channel. I can't assume everybody knows what I'm talking about every single time. Yeah. Cool. I would just like to say the last couple of months have been pretty rough, so I appreciate having these MCU Explained episodes. They have been keeping me great and quite entertaining. Thank you so much, Michael. I'm sorry to hear that you've been having a rough few months. Michael's amazing, and he's such a great geek, and he's so supportive of any geek fandom that it's awesome. Yes, so please keep watching, and you're amazing.
Did we skip which comic event or storyline do you want to see in the MCU besides Secret
Invasion? That, sorry.
Here's the thing.
I would have said House of M.
Yeah.
Like if you asked that question to me a few years ago, I'm pretty sure I would have said House of M.
Here's the thing. The Fox universe really broke my heart. How they messed up the Phoenix story the first time. That was my favorite comic story.
And then the second time.
And so if they're going to do that one, I need them to wait like 20 years so that it's not so soon. So barring that, I would love to see the comic storyline where Deadpool becomes a pirate for a while. That is one of my favorites. He tries to rob other pirates, and he lives on an island, and it is really stupid, and I love it a lot.
Oh my God.
I love a lot of the Deadpool. I would love to see any of the, specifically Daniel Way's Deadpool stories get adapted.
Right now, for me, I would love to see, especially given the state of the MCU right now, I would love to see Laura Kinney show up as Wolverine at some point. Have there be, as much as I love seeing Daphne Keane play her as a kid, it would be great to see her grown up and have taken on the mantle of Wolverine. And I would love to see any of Tom Taylor's all new Wolverine storylines. And then I would love to see the reintroduction of Jean Grey into the MCU done the way Tom Taylor again did it in X-Men Red, where she puts together a team that's like, again, Laura Kinney. Oh my God, now I can't remember the team. I could grab the book. It's like right over there. Namor, Nightcrawler. Her team's just really fantastic. And just, this is another instance of Jean Grey coming back from the dead.
Always doing that.
She's always doing that. And she just, and again, this one has Sentinels in it. It has like a lot of the good things that you appreciate in an X-Men story, but it also would be a great way to reintroduce Jean Grey into this kind of more realistic world, because she's fighting Professor X's daughter, who's also figured out a way to mind control certain machines. So it's like a technical story. It could fit in very easily to like a White Vision Ultron situation as well.
Yeah.
But I think that storyline would really fit into the MCU where it seems to be headed. Cool. Whew, where are we?
Consequences for the Hex, because there's got to be an aftermath. That is true. I mean, like, if nothing else, these people that are in the Hex with her, the blip happened like 9 days ago.
I know. They came back from it 9
days ago. They had 9 days. And then now they were trapped in a sitcom. So if nothing else, these people have been through an immense amount of trauma.
And they need a lot of therapy.
Yeah, a lot of therapy.
Sorry. Blade, I know it's a little ways away, but I am right. I am so... Okay, Siobhan, how do you feel about Blade being PG-13? Because they said they don't want it to be rated R. They want it to be rated PG-13. It just can't be as violent, right?
I actually think it can still be pretty violent. It just we can't show vampire butts. I don't know.
Or we can't say the F word more than like twice. I think there's you can
still say it.
But like, I feel like Blade should be rated R. I don't know why. Do I only feel that way because previously Blade has been rated R, and it's
maybe,
and the comics are definitely rated R.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll still be great.
No, I think Blade's Marshala Ali playing Blade is like my favorite thing ever. I love that casting so much. I'm so on board for him playing Blade. It's like not even funny.
Yeah, I think we talked about before how I love how he got his Oscars and then you can meet with any studio you want. And he went to Marvel like, I want to be Blade.
Yeah, I love that so much too. Like that he just like, because you know, once you get an Oscar, you can basically do whatever you want. He got 2 and then was like, Blade. Boom.
Yeah.
That's his mic drop. What is an R rating in the US? An R rating is 17 plus. You can get in at 17, I think, pretty sure. But still, it's a little, I think, they're not really that strict on it, to be honest.
Less violence, less swearing, less nudity.
Yeah. I guess no vampire butts.
No vampire butts. Sorry, guys.
People.
If you wanted an updated version of the scene from the first Blade where they're having a vampire dance party, but you were hoping that they would all be naked and you get to see lots of vampire butts, not gonna happen.
No vampire butts. So sorry, guys. Hashtag vampire butts. Top 5 MCU movies, because there's some other comments like gotta roll. So Dave, I guess, left by Dave. X-Men are not going to be in the MCU for a couple of years. Yeah.
We know. The X-Men aren't, but that doesn't mean they can't start bringing over.
Yeah, you can bring over random other mutants without full X-Men team.
Because like Monica's a mutant, so.
Yeah. Annihilation, I assume that would be the comic storyline that you would like to see, Andrew. I know who you are. You have the same username on all your platforms, kind of like I do. Top 5 MCU movies. Actually, This is the nerd that I am.
Oh,
I have my MCU movies ranked in my phone.
I don't. I feel like mine change. Like it's always Ragnarok is number one.
Yeah.
Always. And then I feel like everything after that is very fluid. They change.
I mean, that is true for mine too. I'm actually curious because the last time I updated this, I think I didn't. So I updated. Well, I guess there's been no movies since Endgame, but where the heck
Spider-Man.
Well, yes, Spider-Man Far From Home, which I don't even know that I put in here. Where is my list?
Oh, while you look for your list, I will answer. They did not say Monica is a mutant, which fair point. But she is a mutant in the comics, and she got her powers pretty much the exact same way as an adult, exposed to high amounts of energy. So they did the story the same way. And I think it's just a matter of when they decide to start labeling who is and isn't a mutant, what is and isn't a mutant. Darcy said it changed her cells. That's a mutation. So, but yeah, they haven't said the M word yet.
Mm-hmm. Why can't I find this list? Did it not transfer to my new phone?
Oh no.
That would be so upsetting. This is so upsetting. So, okay, so top one for me is I have Sindarin translations in here. Apparently some things that I wanted translated from Sindarin.
Good. That's good to keep.
You know, so if you need something translated, apparently I kept a translator in here. Blah, blah, blah. It's definitely Doctor Strange, for sure.
Yeah.
Then maybe Civil War. I love Civil War so much.
Civil War is awesome. Maybe my second one. Mine's Ragnarok, Civil War, then probably Infinity War. I love that movie.
I love Infinity War.
Oh, no. I'm gonna change mine already. See?
Oh no, my current Marvel.
Good.
What?
It's Ragnarok, and then it's Winter Soldier, and then it's Civil War, and then Infinity War.
So how I have these ranked in my list from the last time I updated this. I have Doctor Strange. Then I have Winter Soldier. Then I have Civil War. Then I have Homecoming, which I don't think is in my top 5 anymore.
Yeah, change
it. And then I have Black Panther. Which I don't think, I agree. I think that mine's still Doctor Strange, but I think Civil War is number 2 for me. And then I would say Infinity War. Man, this is tough. This is tough. Well, Remar Bulldog, who asked the question, says he wrote Civil War, Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Endgame, Ragnarok. That's a good top 5.
Yeah.
That's
great top 5.
That's a great top 5.
I think maybe right now my number 5 slot has Far From Home in it. Really loved Far From Home.
Far From Home isn't even on this list for me.
Yeah,
I made it before Far From Home came out.
I really liked Jake Gyllenhaal in that movie. I thought he was a fabulous Mysterio. I loved how he was doing an impression of Tony for like the first third of the movie and just nailing it. And that scene in the bar when he gives the monologue about how they've succeeded is incredible because he gradually goes from Tony into being Mysterio and himself. Yeah. And I just was blown away.
Yeah.
And I love him mostly from, if you watched John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch, the last sketch in the show is Jake Gyllenhaal's Mr. Music, and it's one of my favorite sketches that I've ever seen.
I just love like him singing Suddenly Seymour. If you guys in the theater, he played Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors for a while, like off Broadway, and he for some event or something did Suddenly Seymour, but he did it with Audrey from the movie.
Right. Yeah.
And it was so good. because she sounds exactly the same, like as she did from back then. Okay, Wanda fully becomes the Scarlet Witch. She infuses White Vision with her Vision's essence. Hawkeye finishes training Kate Bishop, and then he hooks up with his old teammates for a road trip to California, coming in 2022 West Coast Avengers. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I would love West Coast Avengers.
West Coast Avengers would be great.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah. Airport scene in Civil War is the action sequence in comic book history. Yeah, completely agree.
Oh, Winter Soldier is a lot of people's number 2.
It's the one I'm trying to convince my mom to watch because she had a crush on Robert Redford as a child or like as a girl. And I'm like, he's in a superhero movie.
He's great too.
Not going to like it though. Because
you're not going to like it, but he is great.
He's great. I was like, what about Endgame? He's in that too.
Mm-hmm. Small, little tiny bit.
Small, little tiny bit. Yeah.
Oh, Joey, Guardians is such a phenomenal. The problem with doing the like an MCU top 5 is that I think so many of the movies are incredible.
Oh yeah, that's the problem too. I'm like, really, it's like, which ones do you not like? Because there's only like a few to not like.
Yeah, and I honestly, even the ones that aren't as good as the others, let's say, I can still find things in them that I like. There's still things I like about them.
Completely agree. And that's how I am with Star Wars too. When people are like, well, I don't like this. I don't like this. And I go, well, there's a movie in there that I like. It's just not the one that is on the screen.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I can't wait for Falcon and Winter. I'm really excited about Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Very excited.
Since you mentioned musical theater, watch Howard on Disney Plus. What is Howard?
I don't know.
Encore. That the Kristen Bell one. What's Howard?
I don't know. We'll have to.
Howard. Is it about? Oh my God! Is it about Howard Shore?
I don't know.
Oh, Howard Shore is, he did the music for like
Howard Ashman.
Howard Ashman. Yes, Howard Ashman, Alan Menken. Howard Ashman did the music for that. It's the same person that I'm thinking of. He did the music for Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast, and he passed away. And there's actually like a memorial for him on Beauty and the Beast. He was so inspirational for like that. Like he's the one that like turned the Disney musical into something different. Like, you know how Disney had that like lull in the 80s, and then like they really took off again with like Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Like it was him, Alan Menken, who like did that second coming essentially.
I like how you mentioned Alan Menken because one of my favorite things about Alan Menken is that he puts Easter eggs to his own things and other stuff. Yeah, so the line in Little Shop of Horrors, the musical, Audrey Chu says, "I'm your genie, I'm your friend, I'm your willing slave," and then the genie in Aladdin says the exact same line.
I never noticed that.
He references himself. It's great.
I have never noticed that. That's amazing. Wow. If there's any silver lining to tomorrow's WandaVision episode being the final one, it's that the likelihood we won't say please stand by anymore.
They didn't do it last week.
They didn't do it last week. You're right. I'm really interested in how they handled the new Marvel character introductions like Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, and Moon Knight. I think they're just going to do it. You know how like Guardians, they kind of just did it. Like they're like, here's a raccoon who just like talks.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see Moon Knight get his powers because his whole deal is weird, and I feel like it does actually need to be explained. Like,
yeah,
he makes a deal with a god, but he has multiple personalities, and now one of the personalities is the god. It's very comic booky.
Yeah. Sure. And to be honest, I don't know that much about Moon Knight. I haven't read a whole lot of Moon Knight comics, so that'll be interesting for me too. Like I'm gonna have to do some research before that show comes out to make sure I know what I'm talking about when we explain it.
The best thing about Moon Knight is he regularly interacts with Dracula and Blade, so maybe Blade will have a cameo.
And that's the other thing is like in She-Hulk, I'm kind of hoping Bruce shows up in She-Hulk at some point.
I kind of think
he has to, yeah.
I think that's one of those things that is confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he has to at some point. And I do love the idea that because now Disney has all of the Netflix rights back, I love the idea of Jessica Jones showing up in She-Hulk and them folding those shows, the Netflix shows, which were so good. They were for the most part, they were so good. Folding them in.
Shows had some of my favorite choreography, like all time.
Yeah,
choreography, incredible.
Yeah, especially in like the Defenders show when they finally all got together. My gosh,
I love the Punisher beating up all those guys in jail. That A+, and the Daredevil stairs. Incredible fight scene.
Yeah, totally. Oh, can't wait for Shang-Chi. I am so excited for Shang-Chi. You don't even know.
They did the casting. The
casting of Shang-Chi is incredible. I can't even explain how much, as someone of Asian ethnicity, I am very, very excited for that. I mentioned my mom hasn't really seen any Marvel movies. She has agreed to see Shang-Chi with me opening day.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Isn't it? Like, just because she's very excited about the representation, because representation matters.
It does matter. It matters a lot.
It matters a lot. So I'm very excited about that. I see Stoney is still trying to cast or Silk on Amazon.
Yeah,
what?
They are currently casting for a Silk show on Amazon, but it's Sony. It's Sony, so you have to temper your expectations. It could be really good, but it could also be terrible. We don't know.
Okay. Because up here with Doctor Strange,
Miss Cindy Moon.
Well, my little Cindy Moon, who is Korean.
Mm-hmm. I would love, speaking of storylines, I would love to see the Spider-Verse one where they're all trying to protect her. Because there's a lot of great Jessica Jones, Gwen, and Cindy team up moments in that.
I love that storyline, but I also love the storyline where she has to team up with Black Cat.
Oh yeah.
Because like she and Black Cat do not have the same personality at all, and the fact that they're forced to work together constantly like is really funny.
Jess got pretty mad at her.
Oh yeah,
Spider-Verse, when Jess is the one protecting her, she's pretty mad.
Well, yeah, Cindy's not the easiest person to get along with. Yeah. Another character that's like, yes, she is a hero, but like she can be grayish. She sometimes just does stuff because she wants to or because it suits her instead of the right thing for a hero to do. Yeah.
Edward said self-referenced Easter eggs. The Russo brothers put the blue truck.
Oh yeah.
We've talked about that before.
And Tobias is in the collector's collection on Nowhere in Infinity War. It's not actually David Cross though. It's just like
it's a blue man in denim short shorts.
Yeah, it's a blue man in cutoffs. The never nude.
And then we said that the 2 episodes ago that a lot of the sitcoms seem to be referencing Arrested Development in general.
There was another question I think we missed. Hold on. Oh, no, it's just when do you think we'll get another team up movie? Isn't Multiverse of Madness kind of a team up movie?
We don't know who all is in it. If we're going team up like the next Avengers movie, maybe towards the end of phase 2. Yeah. Or I've started over now. Oh, so I meant we're currently in the new one.
Yeah. Anyway, this is 4 now, yeah?
The end of phase 5, maybe we might get. They gotta build up their big bad.
And they also have to establish the new team.
Yeah.
Like, is the new team Steven and Sam and Bucky and Wanda?
Yeah.
Is it Steven and like Ant-Man and the Wasp? Like who is it? Steven and Carol? Like who's the new team?
Yeah. I think Steven and Carol are probably the safest bets for the new team for members.
Steven and Carol are the safest bets for like the big ones in the new team. Mm-hmm. With Asgard gone, what happens to the tree, the life tree that holds together the 9 realms that I can't pronounce. Yggdrasil.
I don't. Yeah.
Guardian words.
Ooh, boy. That might be another thing that messed up the multiverse, honestly, because we said there's been like little things leading up that are tearing apart the universe. That easily could be another one.
Yeah. Since we are almost headed on 2 hours of this stream, do you want to ask some of the questions that we missed from before? And then we can start to wrap up, because it is like 9 o'clock here, which means it's 11 where you are.
It is. Well, it's not like I'm not staying up to watch.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, but what actor would replace Tony Stark in the multiverse? Tom Cruise is an excellent guess, because he almost played.
Yeah, Tom Cruise auditioned. He was one of the top choices to play Tony Stark. So that is an excellent guess. Like, just
like there was going to be Leonardo DiCaprio was almost Spider-Man, so that's another good guess. Anyone who almost played the part for whatever reason, I feel like would have no problem doing a cameo.
For sure. I completely agree with that. Are you at all concerned about the lack of info coming out about the Eternals? I know that making it safe for theater goers is still a priority, but they may be hiding their time, but still. No, I'm not that concerned about it, really.
I feel like there wasn't a lot about Guardians before it came out.
I think that they're doing that on purpose as well, just because, you know, like, how do you explain the Eternals? You just kind of have to see the movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. We plan on doing like a mini video about the Eternals. It was requested on Facebook, I think, that we do an explained mini episode about the Eternals before it comes out. So
yeah, we'll talk about who they all are and all that, because they gender swapped some characters, so there could be more women.
Yeah.
Where did that go? Casey, for Tom Cruise, it would just be like a brief cameo. Like, he might not even talk.
Yeah.
It would be like 10 to 30 seconds, maybe no lines.
I mean, and the thing is we don't know what we're talking about. So maybe there is no Tom Cruise. We're just like, we're just saying that
almost play him.
We almost got an MCU led by Tom Cruise. Just so you're aware, for those of you who might not know, Tom Cruise auditioned and was almost Tony Stark way back in 2008 when we got our first Iron Man movie. It almost wasn't Robert Downey Jr. It was almost Tony Stark. So,
and Black Widow was almost Emily Blunt. She turned it down.
Yeah. You see stuff like that happen all the time too.
Let's see what we got. Oh, okay. Here's a fun one, similar to some of the other ones, actually. What's your favorite and least favorite Fox X-Men movie? From Ashley.
Okay, my favorite one is Days of Future Past. That one.
Easily. Same.
Really? You don't go where statues are. You should know that. You don't go where statues are. Yeah, Days of Future Past, for sure, easily.
Days of Future Past was not only an incredible film, I felt like I was personally being apologized to for the mishandling of Phoenix.
For sure. And then it was so cool to get to see like Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy be like the two versions of the same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was so cool. So Days of Future Past for sure. And then least favorite is probably The Last Stand, X3, probably.
Yep, me too. That Phoenix thing again. Here we go.
Yeah, and I have a friend who's always like, but we got the fastball special in that movie and in no other movie. And I'm like, so the whole reason you like it is 1-2 second thing that happened at the beginning during a training exercise. Why don't you just turn it off? Did you turn it off after that? Because if you turned it off after that, I totally get why that's one of your favorites.
If I had only seen the fight scene in Justice League where everyone fights Superman, then I would love that movie.
For sure. Yeah. I actually don't hate Justice League the way a lot of people hate Justice League. I hate BVS, but I don't hate Justice League.
I don't want to go on a whole thing because I can. I really dislike Superman. I never think he's relatable.
Oh, I feel the same way. I don't like Superman at all.
Yeah, so it's full on, just so unrelatable.
He's perfect. You can't. He's too perfect. He's too perfect. I have a huge problem with him because of that. He's too perfect. The thing that makes him human is Lois, and if Lois isn't done well in contrast to him, like he's completely unrelatable. Logan. Actually, I changed my mind. Logan's my favorite.
Logan's my second favorite. Logan's incredible. What a kind of like honestly more MCU take than Sony usually, because it was like, what happens to these super powered people if they get dementia or they have other human illnesses that start to affect them, but they still have their powers? It's terrifying.
Yeah.
And of course Wolverine feels like he has to take care of, because Professor X did everything for him.
Yeah, I love it. And then also X-23 is one of my all-time favorite characters. Like if I'm talking like top 5 favorite Marvel characters ever, it's like Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, X-23. Like she's like my number 3. Then it's Silk. I don't know who would round out the top 5. Maybe Thor. That would be my top 5. Not that anyone asked, but that's my top 5 favorite Marvel characters of all time.
Thor's my number 1 now.
Yeah, who are yours? Yours are Thor, maybe Spider-Man?
Nebula, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think Nebula's arc is incredible. I think that, again, back to mental health, Gamora and Nebula are like the example of having an abusive parent who pits you against your siblings to like fight over their love and dig for scraps. And Nebula, like we really get to see her work through leaving her dad, realizing he's not as like great as she thought, and reconciling with Gamora, and then being alone with just her and Rocket. Like I think her arc is incredible.
Her arc is incredible.
Yeah, so Nebula, favorite. Wasp.
Like comics too, by the way, because I put Silk. I said Silk, and Silk hasn't been in a movie yet.
And I love Captain Marvel, and I love Jessica Drew, and I love their friendship. And also, I always talk about Kitty Pryde, so I just won't even bring her up, but I love Kitty Pryde. She's the best.
And then I'm like looking and I'm going like, oh, what? There's so many more characters I'm totally forgetting that I love so much. Yeah, it's definitely, Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Deadpool. Love Deadpool.
You love Deadpool. I also,
comics I have like had to put down because I was laughing so hard. Deadpool's great.
Yeah. I mean, I also love Namor.
That's a wild card.
Yeah, he's so awful that I love him. Like he's always gonna be like a shitty bro. Yeah. That's why I love him, because you always can count on him to like make that stupid decision. But yeah, I like Namor. It's dumb, but I do. I like him. And then there's so many. Once you get into like, once you start putting the comic book characters into, it just gets out of hand.
It's out of control.
Yeah, because obviously, because of my love for Wanda, I also have a love for Vision.
Yep.
They go hand in hand. And Thor, I also love Jane Foster. Could Kitty Pryde walk through the bubble? She probably could.
Probably. Right? Kitty can go through. I don't even think it would affect her, because she wouldn't be matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MCU versus DCEU.
Well, currently the MCU is so the DCEU.
Currently, I don't think that's really that much of a fight.
And Batman is one of my favorite characters of all time ever. Love Batman. And I think they should have probably just taken a break at the end of the Dark Knight trilogy and maybe wait a little while before we try to do more Batman stuff, because it was done really well. And I love, if you haven't watched Birds of Prey, please watch it.
Birds of Prey. Huntress is one of my all-time favorite characters, and they do they do all of them so well. Huntress done so well.
Ewan McGregor's incredible in that movie. Like, what a great character.
Yeah, DC does kill it with the animated stuff too. I completely agree. Do you think White Vision is just going to walk through the hex barrier? Yes.
Yeah, actually, I kind of do. I even think he might be able to like open it like a curtain.
Yeah.
And then now more people can come in. Like, I think he's going to be able to totally breach it.
Totally. I think that too. Yeah. So let's do like one more question and then wrap things up, because like I said, we're like at 2 hours. Thank you guys. Some of you have been in here the like whole 2 hours with us. I completely appreciate that. You guys are amazing.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Do you think we should do this more often?
Oh, that's a question for you. Which
a question for you. Would you watch this if we did a live show more often? And absolutely, someone asked, and I think I missed the question, but someone asked if we were going to be doing a finale. Like, this isn't the finale episode. We're going to be doing
our normal recap.
Yeah, we'll do a regular finale episode. So, yeah. I don't
still think they found the real Colossus yet. I actually really like the Colossus in Deadpool.
I like the Colossus in Deadpool too. Is he the real Colossus? Maybe not. Maybe. He's close. They could develop him there for sure. And just think of how great he'd be with his version of Kitty too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm still holding out hope that Kitty comes in, gets her extra powers, goes into space, and is the new Star-Lord. Big hope. Small comic run. No one knows about it. But her and Peter Quill get engaged. I think they're an adorable couple. They fit really well. And then he has to go deal with his dad. So she subs in as Star-Lord for a while.
Aww. I love that. I haven't read that, but that sounds fun. So I might look it up.
They're adorable.
Marvel Unlimited.
Oh yeah. I think it starts in Legendary Star-Lord.
Okay. Cool. Do you guys ever watch the episodes on your own, or do you ever FaceTime and Skype and watch them together? We text.
We watch them on our own because, and I feel like part of that is that it's been crashing so much.
Yeah, we can't sync up very well. So yeah.
And I imagine everyone buckle up because I can imagine. Yeah, it's gonna crash.
Restart that thing a few different times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, cool. You two are great. Very knowledgeable. Thank you.
Yeah.
We were like, this was actually all Tab's idea. She invited me to do this with her. She was like, why isn't there a show that does this? And I was like, I'll totally do that with you.
Yeah. I need somewhere to talk about this.
Yeah. And we already talk mostly about Marvel stuff anyway.
The people in my normal life can only tolerate so much of it.
Same here. So let's do this. But yeah, cool. Do we have one more question?
Let me see if we have a one. If someone can't beat me, I'll see if we have one of the other ones we skipped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh.
I'm just gonna dance while you're done.
Who would you cast for an older Wiccan and Speed from Jeremy?
Oh, Jeremy always asks us the good questions. I don't know. I'm really bad at casting, to be honest. I defer to the MCU. I defer to Kevin Feige and the MCU. The casting, isn't it Sarah Holly Finn does all the casting? I would love for them to cast it. I can't do better than them.
I honestly, even for older Wiccan and Speed, I think it'll be unknown or barely known actors.
Yeah, they're gonna find like a Tom Holland diamond in the rough, because they're not gonna be that old when we see them older. They're gonna be like 20s.
Teenagers. Yeah, early 20s.
Early, like late teens, early 20s. So yeah, I would say that they're probably gonna go with some unknowns or someone who's like in a Netflix show that nobody knows about yet or something like that.
I was earlier today trying to cast Daniel Levy into the MCU because I think that would be fun.
Who would he be?
I don't know.
Who would he be though?
He's always slightly himself.
Yeah.
He's gonna bring his energy into whoever he plays. So he might even have to be like, for that to work, he might have to be like a reporter or like a friend, a side character, but I still would love to see him.
I would love to see him too. That'd be great. And I still like, because of Matt Shackman doing this show, I've been like, okay, where's the gang member?
Yeah.
We
Susan
haven't
and
a
I
gang member.
also love Always Sunny.
Yeah, we're both Always Sunny fans.
Yeah, the director for WandaVision is like one of the most frequent directors of Always Sunny. I think he's directed almost all of my favorite episodes of the show. Yeah, where is Glenn Howerton as Mephisto?
I actually, even Glenn Howerton as Nightmare would be hilarious. Like, if you think, like, I feel like Glenn Howerton would annoy the crap out of Steven. Like, where is that?
Yeah. Charlie Day as a version of Wolverine that was like a mistake.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Like when they were trying to clone him, this one came out wrong. And now it's just
well, there were a whole bunch of Wolverine clones at one point.
Yeah.
So, oh my God.
Oh, Charlie Day would also be great for in Deadpool when Deadpool's severed limbs and head start like finding each other and they make a weird Deadpool that's like evil.
Oh God.
That would be great.
Incredible. Oh my God. That would be incredible. Is Wiccan and Speed going to outgrow Wanda? They don't ever grow older than her.
Yeah, I don't think so. No. But I think they will have to age up to be in Young Avengers eventually.
Yeah, for sure. They'd have to at least be like teenagers to be Young Avengers. So yeah. Cool. Well, we've hit 2 hours. Thank you guys so much for being with us.
Thank you.
You guys asked so many amazing questions. And I'm so excited to watch WandaVision tonight in 3 hours. No matter where you are in the world, it's 3 more hours to go.
3 more hours.
3 more hours. And then however long it takes for you to restart Disney Plus when it crashes on you, because everybody's watching it for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then, someone just said hello. I'm sorry, we're wrapping up right now. Sorry, we are MCU Explained. This is Smokey. I'm Dan
Levy is Rick Jones.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. All right, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. We will see you on our next episode, which will be a recap of the finale. So after that, we have a week off, which we won't take a week off because we'll be doing our pre-Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode, and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier starts right up. So
we'll talk about that.
Plenty of content for you guys coming up. So again, thank you guys so much for watching our stream, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Ending broadcast. Oh, we'll totally do it again.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, we'll do this again.